Rituals without results. What is cargo cult science? Imagine going through the motions of a scientific experiment without truly understanding the underlying principles. You meticulously follow every step, collect data, and even publish your findings, but something is amiss. The results lack true meaning. This, my friends, is the essence of cargo cult science. The term, coined by physicist Richard Feynman, describes practices that mimic the outward appearance of scientific inquiry without embracing its core principles. Like actors playing scientists on a stage, practitioners of cargo cult science may look the part but lack the substance of genuine scientific rigor. They prioritize appearances over substance. They focus on mimicking successful experiments rather than pursuing genuine understanding. This lack of intellectual integrity ultimately undermines the very foundation of scientific progress. It's like trying to bake a cake without a recipe, simply combining ingredients that resemble those used in successful baking without understanding the chemistry involved. You might end up with something that looks like a cake, but it won't taste like one, and it certainly won't be the result of true baking. In essence, cargo cult science is a deceptive dance with the scientific method, a dance that ultimately leads nowhere. It's a hollow imitation of true scientific inquiry, devoid of the intellectual honesty and rigor that drive genuine discovery. Bamboo airplanes and the illusion of progress, a powerful analogy. To truly grasp the concept of cargo cult science, we need to journey to the South Pacific after World War II. Richard Feynman, in his insightful observations, brought to light a fascinating phenomenon. During the war, islanders witnessed an incredible spectacle, massive airplanes landing, bringing with them unimaginable riches, food, tools, and technologies beyond their wildest dreams. These airplanes, symbols of advanced civilizations, became objects of awe and reverence. When the war ended and the planes stopped arriving, the islanders, longing for the return of prosperity, devised a plan. They meticulously recreated the appearances they had observed, constructing runways and control towers out of bamboo and wood. They even mimicked the rituals of air traffic controllers, waving sticks and speaking into coconut shells, hoping to summon the return of the cargo-laden planes. This poignant tale serves as a potent metaphor for cargo cult science. The islanders, despite their meticulous efforts, failed to grasp the underlying principles of flight. They replicated the superficial aspects, the outward rituals, but lacked the understanding of aerodynamics, engineering, and logistics that made air travel possible. Similarly, researchers engaging in cargo cult science may meticulously follow experimental protocols, collect data, and publish papers. However, they often overlook or misunderstand fundamental scientific principles. They may fixate on replicating successful experiments without questioning the underlying mechanisms or exploring alternative explanations. Their focus shifts from seeking truth to chasing publications and accolades, creating an illusion of progress while true understanding remains elusive. Cargo cult psychology, modern-day examples in scientific research. The allure of cargo cult science, sadly, is not confined to history books. Its shadow looms over modern scientific research, particularly in fields like psychology and biomedical research, where complexity reigns and definitive answers can be frustratingly difficult to pin down. Consider the infamous case of power posing, a social psychology theory suggesting that adopting certain postures can influence hormone levels and increase feelings of power and confidence. This theory gained significant traction, influencing everything from business seminars to TED Talks. However, rigorous attempts to replicate the original findings consistently fell short. The initial results, it turned out, were likely due to chance and publication bias, not a genuine psychological phenomenon. Similarly, the field of biomedical research has seen its share of cargo cult practices. The excitement surrounding antioxidants, for example, led to a surge in studies touting their health benefits. However, many of these studies were poorly designed, relying on flawed methodologies and failing to account for confounding factors. The result? A muddled landscape of conflicting findings, making it difficult to discern genuine benefits from wishful thinking. These examples underscore a critical point. Cargo cult science can thrive even in the most sophisticated research environments. It highlights the importance of constant vigilance, critical thinking, and a willingness to challenge established paradigms, even when they appear successful. The replication crisis, a symptom of cargo cult science in action. The replication crisis, a hot topic in the scientific community, reveals a worrying trend. Many published research findings, particularly in fields like psychology and social sciences, fail to hold up when other scientists try to replicate them. This troubling phenomenon is a glaring symptom of cargo cult science at play. Think of it like this. Imagine baking a cake following a specific recipe. You carefully measure ingredients, follow each step meticulously, yet the cake turns out flat and dense, a far cry from the fluffy masterpiece promised in the cookbook. Now, imagine other bakers attempting the same recipe with similar disappointing results. This, in essence, is the replication crisis in action. The inability to reproduce research findings points to deeper flaws in the scientific process, often stemming from a culture that prioritizes novel and exciting results over methodological rigor and replicability. This publish or perish pressure can lead researchers down a slippery slope, incentivizing them to cherry-pick data, tweak statistical analyses, or even fabricate results to produce attention-grabbing findings. The replication crisis is not merely an academic concern. It has real-world consequences, policies based on flawed research, medical treatments built on shaky foundations, and public perceptions shaped by misleading findings can all stem from the inability to reproduce scientific results. The pursuit of groundbreaking discoveries must never come at the expense of solid methodology and the ability to verify results. Section 5, Spotting the Signs, Hallmarks of Cargo Cult Science. So how can we differentiate between genuine scientific inquiry and its deceptive cousin, cargo cult science? While not always immediately apparent, several red flags can help us identify research that might be built on shaky foundations. One telltale sign is an over-reliance on anecdotal evidence or small, poorly designed studies. Just like the islanders' belief in cargo-laden planes based on limited observations, drawing sweeping conclusions from isolated or methodologically flawed studies can be misleading. True scientific progress requires robust evidence based on large, well-designed studies that can withstand rigorous scrutiny. Another red flag is the dismissal of negative results or alternative explanations. Genuine scientific inquiry embraces skepticism and welcomes challenges to prevailing theories. Cargo cult science, however, often clings to favored hypotheses, even in the face of contradictory evidence. This selective focus can lead to a distorted view of reality, hindering the pursuit of truth and impeding scientific progress. Furthermore, be wary of research that relies heavily on jargon, complex statistical analyses, or obscure methodologies to mask a lack of substance. True scientific breakthroughs should be accessible and understandable, even to those outside the specific field of study. When researchers resort to obfuscation and complexity, it often signals an attempt to conceal weaknesses in their arguments or findings. Section 6, Eroding Trust. The impact of cargo cult science on public perception. Science, at its core, is a powerful tool for understanding the universe and improving the human condition. However, the proliferation of cargo cult science threatens to erode public trust in this vital endeavor. When people lose faith in the scientific process, the consequences can be dire. Imagine a world where skepticism towards vaccines runs rampant, fueled by misinformation and unfounded claims. Or a society where climate change denial persists despite overwhelming scientific consensus. These scenarios, unfortunately, are not mere hypotheticals. They reflect a growing trend of distrust in scientific expertise, fueled in part by the spread of cargo cult science. When research findings are later debunked or fail to replicate, it casts a shadow of doubt over the entire scientific enterprise. People may become disillusioned, questioning the validity of all scientific claims, even those supported by robust evidence. This erosion of trust can have far-reaching consequences, hindering efforts to address pressing global challenges and making it more difficult to distinguish between genuine scientific breakthroughs and misleading claims. Section 7, Stunted Growth Cargo Cult. Science impedes real scientific progress. The pursuit of scientific knowledge is a journey of exploration, a relentless quest to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Cargo cult science, however, acts as a roadblock on this path to discovery. hindering progress and diverting resources away from more fruitful avenues of inquiry. Imagine a group of explorers venturing into uncharted territory armed with maps and compasses that point them in the wrong direction. They may meticulously document their surroundings, meticulously collect specimens, and even publish detailed accounts of their findings. However, their efforts are ultimately in vain because their fundamental tools, their guiding principles, are flawed. Similarly, cargo cult science can lead researchers down unproductive paths, wasting time, money, and intellectual capital on flawed hypotheses and poorly designed experiments. This misdirection of resources not only slows down the pace of discovery, but also discourages innovation and creativity. When researchers become fixated on replicating flawed findings or chasing after fleeting trends, they are less likely to explore truly groundbreaking ideas or challenge established paradigms. Section 8, the antidote, Finemans call for integrity and self-correction. The antidote to cargo cult science, according to Fineman, lies in embracing the core principles of scientific integrity, honesty, skepticism, and a relentless commitment to seeking truth, even when it challenges our preconceived notions. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, Fineman famously cautioned, and you are the easiest person to fool. This statement underscores the importance of self-awareness and intellectual humility in scientific inquiry. We must constantly guard against our biases, scrutinize our assumptions, and be willing to abandon cherished hypotheses when confronted with contradictory evidence. Furthermore, Fineman emphasized the importance of transparency and replicability in scientific research. He argued that scientists have an ethical obligation to share their methods and data openly, allowing others to scrutinize their work and verify their findings. This openness and willingness to be challenged are essential for ensuring the integrity and reliability of scientific knowledge. Section 9. Embracing uncertainty, a cornerstone of genuine scientific inquiry. One of the most liberating aspects of genuine scientific inquiry is its embrace of uncertainty. Unlike dogma or ideology, which cling to absolute truths, science acknowledges that our understanding of the universe is constantly evolving. What we hold to be true today might be revised or even overturned tomorrow as new evidence emerges. This inherent uncertainty, however, should not be viewed as a weakness. Instead, it is a source of strength, a driving force that propels scientific progress. By acknowledging the limits of our current knowledge, we open ourselves to new possibilities, alternative explanations, and a deeper understanding of the natural world. Embracing uncertainty requires intellectual humility, a willingness to admit that we don't have all the answers. It also demands a commitment to continuous learning, a recognition that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey, not a destination. In the words of the great physicist Niels Bohr, every sentence I utter must be understood not as an affirmation but as a question. Section 10. The quest for truth. Moving beyond cargo cult science. The allure of cargo cult science lies in its promise of easy answers and quick rewards. It offers a shortcut to the complexities of scientific inquiry, a way to bypass the rigorous process of hypothesis testing, data analysis, and peer review. However, this shortcut ultimately leads to a dead end, a world where illusion reigns supreme and true understanding remains elusive. To move beyond cargo cult science, we must rediscover the joy of genuine scientific inquiry, the thrill of exploring the unknown, and the satisfaction of unraveling the mysteries of the universe. This requires a shift in mindset from a focus on outcomes and accolades to a genuine curiosity about how things work and a deep respect for the scientific method. It also demands a commitment to mentorship and education, inspiring future generations of scientists to embrace the core values of integrity, skepticism, and a relentless pursuit of truth. By fostering a culture of intellectual honesty and rigorous inquiry, we can ensure that science remains a powerful force for good in the world. Section 11, Finemans Legacy, a timeless reminder for aspiring scientists. Richard Feynman, with his characteristic wit and wisdom, left behind a legacy that extends far beyond his groundbreaking contributions to physics. He challenged us to be better scientists and, more importantly, better thinkers. His insights into the dangers of cargo cult science serve as a timeless reminder for aspiring scientists urging them to approach their work with integrity, curiosity, and a healthy dose of skepticism. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, Feynman famously cautioned, and you are the easiest person to fool. These words should be etched into the minds of every researcher, a constant reminder of the importance of intellectual honesty and self-awareness in the pursuit of knowledge. As we stand on the shoulders of giants like Feynman, we inherit a responsibility to uphold the highest standards of scientific integrity. By embracing the principles of genuine inquiry, questioning our assumptions, and remaining open to new possibilities, we can ensure that science continues to illuminate the path towards a brighter future.